Today on the channel, Jakks Classic Superstars, Series 10, the Tag Teams. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we continue Jakks Classic Superstars Deep Dive. We all love it. We got a lot to talk about. But today we're doing Jakks Classic Superstars Series 10, the Tag Teams, and of course, a Toys R Us exclusive, these two packs, as they continue to be. So an interesting set once again, Toys R Us exclusive, like I said. But I don't really have really fond memories of Series 10. I remember this pack that we're going to talk about first, but the other two packs, I don't really have any memories of this. I don't remember this set being really hard to find. I don't really see a lot of excitement about this set back in the day either. So that's just an interesting note, I guess, at least in my world. But you guys tell me in the comments if you remember any cool headwinds or cool buzz on this set. I really remember kind of thinking this one was a little bit of a letdown. You guys we talked about Series 9 in last week's video. One of the most anticipated sets ever for me that went the total opposite way. So there was a lot of letdown coming off Series 9, hoping Series 10 would be better. 9, the issue was the execution, not the actual teams and figures that were there. We wanted that set. We wanted every single pack in that set. The execution just was not there. So I remember just being kind of like not knowing what to think about Series 10. What's it going to be? Who's going to be in it? And it was to mixed results. And we're going to talk about each one of these. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we're doing Jakks Classic Superstar videos every single Tuesday, as you know by now. Like I said, this is Series 10. We'll do Series 11 next week. But after this, we still got the 3 packs, the triple threat packs to go. We got the deluxe classics. We got the rings. We got the exclusives. Some of the cosplay type stuff, the Macho Man and Ric Flair robes. There's a lot of stuff in the Classic Superstars line still to talk about. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the old notification bell, all that fun stuff. And we'll be back every single Tuesday until we're not. There you go. So anyways, let's start in on Series 10. And we're going to start it with old Grandmaster Sex A. Not Sexy, Sex A. And of course, Scotty Too Hottie. Too cool, too much, too cool. But a cool set. A lot of coolness with this one, obviously. Very cool to get these two in a 2-pack. We wanted these in Ruthless Aggression form. This is our only Ruthless Aggression figures. We did get Too Cool back in the TTL days. But as you guys know, I really think those are hot garbage. I'm not a fan of that line. Just that was because of my age group and where I was. Just not for me. So I was happy to get these in Ruthless Aggression form. I remember these things not being really valuable for a while after. I don't know if people weren't clamoring for these two or what, but I think this is a pretty pricey piece after all this time is gone. As you guys know, in the Mattel line, we've never got Grandmaster Sex A, but we have got Scotty Too Hottie before in the Mattel line. So maybe we'll get Brian Lawler one of these days, Brian Christopher, Scotty... not Sky Too Hottie, Grandmaster Sex A. Hopefully we'll get him one of these days in the line. I guess we'll see. Time will tell. But it'd be nice to finish off Too Cool and get that other one. And you know how it goes in collecting. If we do get the Grandmaster Sex A, Sky Too Hottie's old figure, which was pretty much a peg warmer for Mattel, we'll see that one jump in value. People will want to complete that team. So there's just a little long game thought pattern there if you're into that kind of stuff. But let's take a look like we usually do. We'll look at the package first. We'll talk about it and all that fun stuff. So there they are. Comes with that nice orange hat on Scotty Too Hottie. Usual Classic Superstar logo up top there as we're used to seeing. Got the names down below. I don't know if these are the most iconic outfits on these two. We could have easily gotten a nice jackets and sunglasses and cool stuff like that. They just obviously weren't putting that in there for us, unfortunately. A little bit of a cheap out on this one, I feel. And actually, this whole set, I don't think a lot of expenses were incurred. Not a lot of accessories, not a lot of anything in this Series 10. So it's just kind of, it is what it is, and it's just kind of there. We'll mention, let's see. Like I said, no sunglasses. I mean, some goggles, some sunglasses would have been great. A soft goods jacket, even a plastic vest, maybe, something. Especially on Brian Christopher. He just looks, I don't know. It looks like you could just pop that head off and you got almost any guy in a wife beater. It's just nothing. I mean, he had some flashy outfits, as we all know, and it just doesn't scream flashy here. I'm sure you could get some aftermarket stuff. If you're a loose collector, you could dress these guys up pretty good. That's probably the way to go. So I don't know. But there's the back. Grandmaster, Scotty 2 Hotty, Classic Superstars logo up top. A little WWE Legends logo up there as well. UPC. And then you got the whole lineup here. We'll talk about each one very soon here. And a little glamour shots of them, of course, and some warnings down below. Nothing too fun. Let's see what it says about our old pal, Scotty 2 Hotty. Debuted 1989, weight 209 pounds, 5'9". His finishing move, of course, is the worm. Grandmaster Sex A, debuted 1988, 213 pounds, 5'10". Finishing move, the hip hop drop. And these have been safety tested for ages 8 and up, in case somebody was keeping track at home. So there you go. But yeah, besides that, not a lot to say. Really cool to get these two. I'm glad we got them in the Class Superstars line. A bit of a sleeper Attitude Era tag team, if you ask me. Very cool. A moment in time, they were over as Rover, we'll say. Will rhyme. I like this one, but I think they could have been way better. This is probably my favorite of Series 10, though. I don't know what that tells you about Series 10, but that's how I'm going to put it. My favorite is Series 10. But let's look at the rest of Series 10. All right, let's continue Series 10 with old Soul Man Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas, the early 80s tag team in the WWF and WWF, I believe. They've been around for a long time. I believe these two are tag team champions together, if I'm correct in remembering right. This is an interesting one, too. It's just kind of not something people were clamoring for. If you think of all the 2-packs that we could have had and stuff, I remember at the time, people kind of scratching their head a little bit like, I wasn't really looking for this one. So it's an interesting one. As you guys probably know, and if you don't know, you're going to know now, Rocky Johnson got 3 different Classic Superstars figures. He got this one, of course. He was part of that 3-pack with The Rock and Peter Maivia, which we'll get to soon on the channel. And then he was in the Classic Superstars series as a single. So 3 Rocky Johnsons. And then Tony Atlas, same thing. He was in this 2-pack, and then he was a single in the regular edition. So for me, I could have either done without this 2-pack or without their single ones. And hey, give us that Macho Man Ricky Dragon Steamboat in the single series. Bam, there you go. Perfect replacements. Yeah, it's not going to happen, but not a lot for me with this one. A little bit disappointing. I would have liked to seen the single version of Rocky Johnson, maybe with some kind of an entrance jacket or even a robe. Would have been nice. Maybe same thing for Tony Atlas, something else, because basically a straight re-release. If you had those single ones, you didn't really need this 2-pack. That was kind of a miss there, I always felt. It's like, hey, why? This is like a cheap re-release. And that's what I go. Series 10 here. You got this cheap re-release. We'll talk about the next one with Bret and Yoko. And then the Too Cool 2-pack wasn't really too hot because it didn't have a lot of bells and whistles we were hoping. Sky 2 Hotty had a hat, and that's it. No accessories with this pack. No accessories with the last one besides that hat on Scotty. Just a really boring set. Just a boring set. I mean, it is. It's the figures work. They are what they are. But it's just boring as a whole. I don't remember this one being excited about it. I don't remember it jumping off the shelves either. But at the same time, by this point in these tag team sets, we weren't getting multiple cases of these. There was maybe 1 or 2 cases, and that was it. So there wasn't a lot of time for peg warming. But I think I'm pretty sure I remember this set of the 3 sticking around till maybe the next set came out, and you'd see them damaged and beat up throughout your store, and then they'd go on clearance. And there was a few packs like this, and I'm fairly certain this pack was one of those in my area. But there it is. Rocky and Tony. Like I said, if you have the single carded releases, you do not need this one. There might be, I can't remember off the top of my head, there might be just a little bit of difference on the tights, but barely any difference. Really nothing to write home about, nothing to get excited about. Interesting Rocky Johnson, I think with the Young Rock TV show that's going on right now, and Rocky Johnson being one of the people that's being played in the show, maybe it's gave some renewed interest about Rocky Johnson. There's a current Mattel Legends hitting the stores, Target exclusive right now. I don't know about your guys' area, but my area, he's a pretty hard peg warmer. But maybe those will pick up a little bit in sales with the TV show. And I don't know, maybe somebody will have some nostalgia for this pack. They'll want to come back and get this Rocky Johnson. I do see as an investment that Rocky, Peter Maivia, Rocky Johnson 3-pack. I could see that being one down the line. that people could really be looking for. That wasn't the easiest 3-pack to get as a Walmart exclusive back in the day. It's your only Peter Maivia figure we've ever gotten, and probably the only one we'll ever get. Then you got Rocky Johnson in there, and of course you got The Rock. Just 3 generations. It's a pretty neat pack that I can see being a sleeper hit one of these days. But there you go. There's the old crew on the side. And, of course, the other side. Got their names. And the back. There it is. Glamour shots up top. Class Superstars logo. WWE Legend logo. You got the whole crew down here. They're all here. All the fun's here. Let's see what it says about old Rocky and Tony. Tony Atlas debuted in 1983. I don't think that's right. I think he was late 70s or mid 70s maybe. Weight 267 pounds, 6'2" height, finishing move, the press slam. Rocky Johnson debuted 1983. I think that is incorrect as well. I don't believe that is right at all. 262 pounds, 6'2", finishing move, the old dreaded Boston Crab. Watch out. He'll get it on you. I don't really remember Rocky Johnson's finisher. Was it the Boston Crab? I don't really remember him having a finisher. You know, I forgot about on Too Cool. I forgot to show the beautiful glamour shot on the side. Look at that. Looking only like they can look, as you guys know. And then you got the names there. So there's that. Almost forgot. I don't know. Doesn't do a lot for me, this 2-pack. You guys tell me in the comments, were you all in or all out on this, or did you even really care? I don't know. If you got the single releases, I think you're good. That's me. Unless you're a completist. If you're a completist, you best be getting this one. That's the way it goes if you're a completist. So let's take a look. The last one, Bret Hart and Yokozuna. All right, Classic Superstars, the Tag Team Series 10 comes to an end with a heavy hitter versus pack. Not a tag team, but you guys know, especially in the earlier sets of the Classic ones, we got some of these feud grudge match packs. So there it is. Yokozuna and Bret Hart, both basically straight up re-releases from their early single-carded figures. That's why this set was so disappointing. You know, there's a lot of reuse here, reuse with Rocky and Tony, and then you got one new set with guys in Too Cool that we should have probably got some jackets or accessories with. There was some definite budget cutting, and I don't know if this was, let's see, what year was this? 2008, so it's not quite. I don't believe Jakks knew they were losing the license when this came out in 2008. I think it was maybe a couple months later, but maybe. I know how these negotiations go between major chains and a consumer goods like Jakks, a customer. Keep a lot of those negotiations secret. Obviously, you're going to keep those things very secret. Think of right now, there's a lot of talk. Mattel, I think, in the last year of their contract, there's been no news. Well, there's not going to be any news. If you think Steve or Bill from Mattel that are, you know, in Twitter and all that kind of stuff, if you think they're going to be commenting on negotiations with the WWE, you're absolutely crazy. I mean, first, they'd probably lose their job. WWE would not be happy, which would in turn make them not get their the chain keep going. It's just not the way business is done. I was part of a major negotiation for over a year and a half in my real world job, and we don't talk about what's going on outside of the bubble between the chain and the company. You don't want your competition to find out, hey, this is what they're offering, this is what they're doing. Because let's say let's say Hasbro's trying to get the Mattel license. You think they wouldn't love to hear from some spies, oh, this is what Mattel's offering, we can sweeten that pot with this and this. It's a secret society. They don't want to be talking that kind of stuff. And, you know, WWE holds a lot of power in these kind of negotiations. And unfortunately, the way I see most negotiations going most of the time, not always, but it's usually, hey, who's going to pay us the most money? And that's who we're going to go with. And that's just always rough. It's not like, well, you know, Mattel, they're $10 million. Hasbro's offering $10 million more. But, you know, we really like Mattel, so we'll just take that in the shorts. And no. I mean, at the end of the day, WWE is a place to make money. They don't care if the stores look like, or if the toys look like dollar store figures, if they're still getting paid at the end of the day. You know, obviously that's maybe a little bit of a stretch, but usually in negotiations like this, whoever's going to do it the cheapest wins. I don't know how we got on that topic, but that's just a little business hat, kind of what I deal with sometimes. But let's talk about this one. The Yoko and Bret basically straight up re-releases. The Bret, not too much different from the single card release. Yoko, there's some different wrist tape. And I think just the paint application around the lips is a little bit different. But besides that, if you had those and you're a kid buying these, this is an easy pass for you. Why would you need 2 more of these? I wish this Yoko came with something more. I don't know what that would have been. I would have loved a different body style, as I always thought this style was big. Yoko was big, but I always felt the head was too small, and I always thought the arms were a little too long and gangly. You guys tell me your thoughts there, but that's the way I always thought of Yoko, and they could have improved that. I would have loved it if they made a new head for this one, or something different. Bret, his single card release, very similar to this, but he did have glasses, the pink sunglasses on the single card, so that one's superior to this one. You got glasses with that one. I will say this Bret Hart body mold, and it's no different. A lot of guys have had this body mold. One of my favorite Ruthless Aggression style body mold. I always loved the fist on this one. I always thought it was a really good displayable fist. I don't know. That's just what I think about that body style. So I always like this Bret body mold. But really nothing to write home about. Nothing really that special. Unless you're a huge Bret Hart Yokozuna fan, you really love the match at WrestleMania. Maybe you'd want that. Maybe you'd want an autograph of both of them when you could get an autograph of both of them. Maybe that was something. I can't remember when Yokozuna died. I think he was he dead in 2008? I don't remember. I don't know. But yeah, I'm trying to make excuses as to why you would want this pack. If you're a completist, you need this pack. There's a few reasons you might, but if you have the single cards, that's what I would go with. I know not everybody is a completist like myself. Glamour shots up top. You got the lineup down below, some warnings, all that fun stuff. 8 and up, UPC, Legends logo at the very top by Bret. Yokozuna gets the classic superstars by him. Let's see what it says about these guys, huh? Bret Hart, debuted 1976, 235 pounds, 5'11". Finishing move, of course, the sharpshooter. Yokozuna debuted 1984, 621 pounds, 6'4". And of course, his finisher, the bonsai drop. And they look pretty spot on to their prototypes. Actually, across the board, they pretty much look spot on to the prototypes. It's almost like they said, yeah, just release them as is. Maybe there was going to be some accessories with these guys and somebody missed a memo, and that kind of stuff happens. We hate to think that, but just people forget to shoot an email, people forget, and bam, these show up with no accessories. I bet you if Jeremy Padower, if he can remember, all these lines, probably not. But I'm sure somebody could say, yeah, that was supposed to be. But old Jimmy at the dock, he forgot to answer the email, so that memo didn't get through, and these all got produced and sent over, and we weren't going to send them back. I could see some of that kind of stuff, because this is really a weird series. 0 accessories, and basically 4 repainted figures just re-released. So the money was not spent on this. It makes you think that, maybe Tony Atlas and them would have came with a robe or a jacket or at least some tag title belts. Maybe Bret could have got his sunglasses. Yoko could have got some changes maybe. And then, of course, Too Cool would have been cool with some jackets, some sunglasses, something. But a real letdown of a set, a downer of a set. Definitely not my favorite. Probably one of the worst tag team sets. You guys in the comments, you tell me your thoughts on this. Did you pick this set up? Do you agree with me? Probably 2 passes on this one. Too Cool you got to get because they're only Ruthless Aggression set. But you could really doctor those up if you're a loose collector. But all in all, just a thumbs down on this set for me. Really sad to see this set being so bad. And then the huge disappointment and controversy about Series 9 was a little bad go on the 2-packs for a little bit here. But we'll talk about Series 11 next. But like I said, give me a comment. Tell me your thoughts on these. Don't forget to hit the like button. You've come this far. You've sat through this terrible set this far. We can at least put a like up there. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As I said earlier, we got videos every single Tuesday about Jakks Class Superstars. We're doing the deep dive. Watch every single one of them. You too can be an expert at the end of the show. And that's it. So for the old Yoko and Bret Hart, Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas, and our friends in Too Cool, I'm Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.